A loss does not necessarily need to be a loss. It could be a gain. And for me, and the practice and my work and my way of life is always seeing the golden trim in everything. And I think that if you can carry a perspective of knowing that everything is working out for you, everything, my love, will always work out for you. Hello, and welcome back to Legendary with LexyRose. Wherever you are, I invite you to take a really deep breath in and just call back all of your energy from everyone and everything. And exhale out, feel everything and anything that no longer serves you completely melts away. So over the past month, I would say towards the end of January, I'd really been thinking about this identity death. How every single time I have become more of who I truly am, how my life continues to rearrange around that. So this could be in regards to the beliefs I've held, to the relationships I've had, to the relationship I've had with myself, the relationship I've had with others, the relationship I've had to my business. Lately, and as I mentioned before, towards the end of January, I had this awareness, like there is literally a death of a version of me that no longer exists. And I no longer need to make choices as I used to. I no longer need to show up as versions of me that other people expect me to be. I'm so clear on my vision. I'm so clear on where I want to go, what I want to experience this lifetime, the impact I want to have, the relationship I have with my kids, who I want to be as a mother, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, as a facilitator, as a human, as a wife, as a daughter, like I've gotten so clear about this, and it's required me to let go of who I have been. So I think it was around January, or maybe it was like the first week of February, I put this post on Instagram and it was like the death of your old self. Like having literally, I swear, I felt like I had basically a funeral of my old self. And I had this awareness of a lot of the old beliefs, a lot of my old patterns, a lot of my old putting other people and everything else before me had just had to go. And that the more I was able to do that, the more I was able to come from a place of true love and authenticity. And the more I came from a place of true love and authenticity, I was not only respecting myself, but I was respecting everyone else involved. And then I had the opportunity to, a few of my clients, they were in this space where they were making specific choices and they were scared that they were going to let people down by honoring what was best for them. And they made the choices that really honored them. And the people that they had said no to, or the people that they had let go of, were so appreciative. And my clients ended up feeling so much more empowered, so much more energy. And the same thing had happened for me. The more I said no to things that were not in alignment to me, the more I, didn't engage in circumstances, in conversations, in relationships that no longer supported me, that felt very extractive, the more energy I had, the more alive I felt, the more magnetic I became to the things and the opportunities and the situations and the people and the clients that just lit me up. So I share with you that sometimes, and quite often, almost 99% of the time, 100% of the time, we must say goodbye to things that no longer serve us, to ways of being that no longer serve us, to old beliefs that no longer support the vision we hold, in order to create that vision, in order to live the life that we are truly meant to live. And it requires courage. It requires your ability to keep showing up no matter what is happening, no matter what appears to be going wrong, and keep knowing that every single experience I'm facing right now, it is all occurring because I've gotten so clear about where I want to go. Now, on February 14th, there was a flood in my storage unit. Now, I get this email. It was literally 3 days before the year of the fire horse. And this final shed of the snake, I was shedding identities of myself. I was shedding old patterns. I was letting go of things in my home. And I get this email. It was literally on the Wednesday, which was the fire horse, the first day of the year. I get this email and it was like, your storage units may have been flooded. Please come into the units and check them out. And rather than going into a panic, which, by the way, side note, disclaimer, or, information for those of you who don't know, I'm a former fashion stylist. I have a collection of the most beautiful archive vintage pieces, Prada, Alaya, everything. And I have every most beautiful archive books and magazines and French Vogues from years and years and years and years. And I was such a collector. And these were my beautiful, precious things that like literally defined me. Okay. So I get this email and I'm sitting and I was like, rather than having a meltdown, I was like, oh, I know this is okay. I know that if things are being flooded and things have flooded, this is like another part of this massive release, right? And it happened on the 14th before the year of the horse, which is all about forward momentum and the final shed of the snake. So I knew that in my heart of hearts, that even if everything was destroyed, that this was all happening for my highest good. And I want you to take a minute and think about in your life right now, what are you trying to cling to that no longer serves you? What is spirit, source, the universe making space? Like, where is space being made for you? And can you let the space come in? Because the awareness that I have and what I know through my work and working with clients and all the things is like, when things are being moved out by a greater power beyond our control, you know, maybe old relationships, maybe old beliefs, maybe old jobs, space is literally being made for everything you've prayed for. So in that moment, I could have gone into meltdown spiralville, but I decided to understand that I have created this path for myself and everything is happening for my highest good. And my clients also hold this level of trust within themselves that they know that in every now moment, everything is always working out for them. And I want you to, again, think about these places and spaces in your life where you feel that things are falling away. Literally, I want you to know this is truth. And this is what I believe. You can believe what you want, but space is being made for you. So let me share with you what happened. So for those of you who are on the edge of your seat, wanting to know what happened to all of the beautiful clothing and the books and years and years and years and years and years of me being a collector, probably from like 1999. And also my mom's things as well, which she was an avid collector. She still is. So I go into the storage unit and I see the whole place is like flooded. And one of the women that works there, I'm a friend of, she's my friend now. Ashley is her name. And then I was like, Ashley, tell me. My ego was getting in the way. I did start to like wonder, okay, like what am I going to be facing here? And she's like, just go check. So I go upstairs and I check the unit with the books and a lot of my shoes, and it seemed to be okay. On the floor, there was a lot of water. And then I go upstairs to the unit with really all of my beautiful personal belongings and my clothes and my shoes and all of the stuff. And I just see water on the floor. And then I just look at one garment bag and there's only like a little bit. So basically everything was pretty much okay. Like everything was okay. And then I went back downstairs, though we did have to move both units from one unit to another. I hired an amazing moving company and they helped me. And the movers helped me open every box because we had to go through the boxes that were on the floor that had the books, the magazines. And as we opened the things, it was like, I began to see all my old stationery, and I used to write thank you notes to every PR that I worked with or anyone I collaborated with, handwritten notes. I saw like all my memos and my sheets and my pulls. Like when you pull clothing, you get to see like the list of all the items. I saw the organization I had. I saw the passion, and it was like I was given an opportunity to like really make peace with aspects of myself that I didn't really get closure with. It was as though this opportunity had come in for me to like have that funeral, for me to make peace with that version of me in the past. And I sit here sometimes, and if you know me, you know my story, like overcoming addiction, overcoming an eating disorder, overcoming depression, reversing an autoimmune disease, like going through a divorce. Like I had literally seen all of my life that I had before I have this beautiful family now and all these blessings that are in my life. I literally like saw it and was able to see myself in a whole new way. And this is so interesting because also recently we did that like Instagram, there was this viral 2016 post, and I remember like going through all my photos of 2016, and then I was also in all of my things from 2016. And it was like this reclamation point of like me really seeing and even respecting and loving and making peace with that version of myself. Because I can sit here and I could say addiction and I can say all the things about myself, but I was always trying my best. So it became a very cathartic experience. And yes, there were a lot of magazines that had to be thrown out. I gave away a lot of my Sharpies, my collection of Sharpies and my things. And then there were also some things that I got to keep, like my sketches from Parsons School of Design when I went there, like photo albums and just things that I had forgotten that have been sitting there for years. And in the very moment of all of that, I was like, wow, space is really being made here for me. Like I'm making peace with the version of my past. Like all of these things this old identity that I used to have and all this stuff. And then I went upstairs and I saw the clothing and I went back up and I like looked through the clothing and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to sell some more of this stuff. Like this stuff is literally just holding energy. It's staying there. It's not moving. It's time. So I texted this woman who I texted last year when I wanted to sell all my things. I think there's an episode about this, like a big part of my archive. And I was like, her name's Mika. And I was like, Mika, are you around? And she's like, it's so funny you reach out to me today. My husband happens to be in New York because they live in LA. She's like, he happens to be there. He's actually there. I was like, can he meet me in an hour? And she's like, yes. So he and I went through all my clothes. We went through all my stuff. I sorted through some things. I gave him some things. I sold him some things, pardon. And I also got to go through, like, I got to see that dress from a picture of mine on 2016 that I had in the cover image of that Instagram post. Like, I really, and I got to sell it. And I got to say, you know what? Like, I really respect that version of me, but I know now that I can set myself free of all of this stuff, because this stuff was things that I was hiding behind, things that define me, things that I really, they were my sense of value, you know, my sense of self-worth. And now I'm like free. And then I looked into the Feng Shui meaning and all that, which, by the way, we're going to have an episode, next few episodes on Feng Shui. So please subscribe. We're going to go into the year of the fire horse and all the things and what the meanings of floods may be and clothing and books and, you know, energy and storage units. So that's going to be cool. But I really had this moment where I was like, wow, like this isn't a loss. Like I'm gaining everything. I get to be free. My life gets to be lighter. I get to invite in more opportunities, new clothes, more new levels of abundance. And for me, I'm always saying, like, we got to edit out our life. We got to let go of anything that's heavy, anything that's causing drama, anything that's holding up too much, tying up too much energy, because things hold energy, right? So maybe take a minute with me right now and just think about, like, what things can you let go of? Can you go through a drawer at home? Can you donate some things? And then also take inventory of, like, some of the relationships you have to friends. Where do you feel like you're being compromised? Where do you feel like you're self-abandoning? Because in order to create the reality that you were really born to live, you got to start listening to what really feels right for you. A loss does not necessarily need to be a loss. It could be a gain. And for me, and the practice and my work and my way of life is always seeing the rainbow or the golden trim and everything. And I think that if you can carry a perspective of knowing that everything is working out for you, everything, my love, will always work out for you. I have an incredible group experience coming up for those of you who feel like you keep hitting resistance, for those of you who want momentum, for those of you who want to feel more inspired, more connected to your creativity, you want to feel unstoppable, you want to become magnetic to everything you desire, you want to see the light in everything, you want to feel trusting, you want to feel like you are on the right path. This is for you. Inevitable is my group offer where everything you desire will become inevitable. That it's the space where all your desires become lived experience. In the show notes below, you're going to find a link to join this experience. There are only limited spots available. There's going to be close proximity to me. We're going to do a visioning session. We're going to get clear about your visions as a group. Then we're going to go into a group coaching session where you're going to ask me questions, where I'm going to open your records. We're going to see what information wants to come through for you and your highest good. Then you're going to do a block release, because once you get clear about a lot of your desires, you're going to see what's in your way. We're going to release that. Then the final session is going to be another last coaching session where you're going to really define your next steps for the year ahead. There's also going to be powerful audio that's going to support you every day to reprogram your subconscious mind and really get you on your highest path, alongside group Telegram messaging, so that I can be in your back pocket for support along the way. This is going to be an incredible experience. If you wanted to have that change, if you wanted to make that move, this is it. So you're going to go to the link in my show notes under Inevitable. Again, there are limited spots. And if you use the code HORSE14, you'll get 15% off until March 9th when the price increases. So if you have been praying, if you have been asking, if you have been wishing for something that is going to change your life, inevitable is the space, and it would be my greatest honor to support you. Reserve your spot in the show notes below. And if you have any questions, you could always send me a DM on Instagram at LexyRose Scott. You can find that in the show notes below as well. Thank you so much for being with me again today. I am so looking forward to being with you again soon. Take care and stay well.